Okay, we're going to set up an investigation to look at how the intensity of light differs as we move further away from the light. So the equipment we need for the investigation is a power pack. Then we use a ray box where the light will come out. We need a meter ruler. We use the meter ruler because it's got millimeter scales in it, so we can be very precise with our readings. We then also need to use a light sensor. The light sensor connects together. So we've got the light sensor with this part, and we connect it to this bit that goes in the USB part of our computer. The light sensor will measure the intensity of the light. When we put it into our computer, it should connect up to a program called Data Studio. Data Studio allows us to record the results of the intensity. When we've got Data Studio connected, then we need to turn our light sensor onto the sun mode. This is the mode that will measure our intensity for the bulb that we're using. We need to connect up the ray box to the power pack. We'll connect it on AC, and we'll put it on the maximum voltage. That means the light should be at its brightest. To make sure that we're only getting a light coming out of the front and no light coming out of the sides or the back, we'll close all of this up and we'll put a screen like this, a slide at the back, so there's minimal light being lost. Then we can put the ruler in front of the ray box so that we can measure the distance away from the ray box. Now, because the bulb is a little bit higher up, when we put the light sensor on top of the ruler, it's a bit too low down. So we can put the light sensor on top of a block of wood, which we also need to include in our equipment list. And it's really important to make sure that we always put the light sensor on top of the right of the same part of the block of wood. So if you move it around, if you put it here, it's very difficult to tell where it is. So I'm always going to put it so that the black part of the light sensor is just where at the edge of the piece of wood. Now we're going to start 20 centimeters away from the bulb. If we get too close, the intensity is too bright and it won't read. To make sure that we're getting the maximum amount of light, we'll give it a little wiggle from left to right, to make sure it's measuring the maximum light at 20 centimeters away. On Data Studio, this will come up as a graph. And if we look at what the maximum reading was on the graph, then we can add that to our table. So we've got 20 centimeters away, the maximum reading of intensity at that point. We'll then move our light sensor away to 30 centimeters away. Do the same thing. Make sure that we put the black end of the sensor in line with the piece of wood. Give it a little wiggle. Click stop on Data Studio. Look at the graph and take the highest reading. Move to 40 centimeters away, do the same thing, and we'll keep doing this all the way to 80 centimeters. We don't really go past 80 centimeters because then the intensity drops down so much that it's not very reliable. So we go from 20 to 80 at 10 centimeters intervals, always recording the maximum intensity. To make sure it's really good, you should ensure that you do this at least three times so that we can see if our results are consistent. And if you're really good at making videos, you'll learn how to stop.